Hi, Jonathan, back again with you. Today we're on Wednesday, 17th September, so day 17 of our journey. And today we're going to go into really what happens with follow-up funnels. So people have gone through your initial funnel, they've either bought or haven't bought, but what do we do next? How can we get more value from those relationships that we've built, and also continue to nurture those who haven't yet bought from us? So before we dive into that, as usual, here's where we are numbers wise. And I thought I was going to be in for a bit of a shocker yesterday, because I think by late afternoon I'd only done about $300. So I thought we're going to be looking at a bit of a thumping loss. As it turned out, we ended up at 523. So certainly one of our lowest. Oh, we did have a 395 back there, so that was definitely a loss. But otherwise, 523 yesterday, and our ad spend was, as usual, that annoying block, 341, which in dollar terms end up as 465, 466. And when we convert that against the 523, I did work it out, sum total of $58. So we really are scraping the finer margins here now of profitability. So yeah, some tough conditions at the moment, but there's very little you can actually do about it, because right at the moment nothing different is changing. Yes, I am split testing landing pages, but I'm split testing a control against one versus the video, so it's not like one's going to massively change those numbers. So it's all down to really, the Facebook algorithm and the traffic, and is it finding the right sort of people? And I say, you can't judge that on a day by day. You have to look at it a week and 2 week lines. And yeah, because if we actually have a look, yes, today we're only at 270 and we're already 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's going to be a bit of a tense one, I think, for me. I probably better try and not look at it again today. Anyway, so let's move on. So this is what we've been through in this sequence so far. We've looked at the Facebook ads driving down through to my $27 impulse offer, which then has an upsell and downsell off the back end of it. And then that really splits into two sides. Is people who didn't buy the upsell, they go into an email nurture sequence that obviously helps them make sure that they initially consume as much as possible of the initial offer, but then obviously makes them the offer of the upsell again. And then those who did buy the upsell, it's really then a sequence of just trying to get them to get in there, use the content, ask questions, really just try and make sure they get as much value from it as possible. But obviously we've got a whole group of people who come out the bottom end of this, who have bought from us but have not gone any further, but potentially they could still we could still develop that relationship, make them different offers, and they could turn out to be customers. And obviously this is where really a good percentage of the people who go through the funnel will actually sit. So it's what we do as the follow-up to that. So just to illustrate the point here, what I did is I looked at my numbers over the last 90 days, and so we've had 1,951 new leads come in, and they've either come in through the ads or through organic side of things. 847 have taken my $27 impulse offer, and 100 of those have gone on to buy the upsell, which is like a 12% on average conversion into that upsell. So that leaves 747 people who are potential repeat customers. They're the people who've bought this initial product, which is why it's important that the email sequence try and reinforces to get them to use the product, use the course, enjoy the lessons, have fun, because this is where there's a huge amount of potential for repeat follow-on customers. As I say, there's 78% overall who didn't take that upsell. So there's a potential lot of sales and revenue in that space. So beyond that, we've actually, as you can see, we've got a total of 1,204 who've actually not purchased anything at all from us yet. And that's obviously the key point of this, is the fact is what we do next, because they came in as leads. They probably, for one reason or another, didn't take the impulse offer. Maybe they didn't fancy it, maybe it was the wrong player level, maybe they just hadn't got time at that moment, but it doesn't mean they won't buy from you further down the line, or buy from me. So what are we doing about that area? One thing I did want to say is that my numbers on my upsell are not that great, and I think I've mentioned this before. My upsell offer isn't what you'd call a very particularly congruent or powerful upsell, because obviously what I've got is my guitar riffs as my initial product, and the upsell is basically just a lot more guitar courses. Now, when somebody just bought one course and they haven't really necessarily even tried it, they don't necessarily just want a whole load more courses. But I haven't got anything else that fits right now. What I'd really be good, and what works really well in upsells, is if you've got some sort of add-on product or service that helps them get even better results from the thing that they've just purchased. So say, for example, for me, it might be is if my initial offer was this 42 guitar riffs, I could have an upsell that could be a whole load more guitar riffs, so it's just more of the same, or it could be something that will help them master those riffs easier or faster. So it might be actually, one-on-one lesson or a group coaching or something like that actually enhances what they've got. So I haven't got really a great match on my upsell, which is reflected in the fact that I've only got 12% uptake on that offer. But maybe that's something I can address further down the line. So, because I have got these other courses, and so it's what I do with them. So in essence, I've really got a couple of options. One is I could create a whole load of sequence of other funnels, taking it product and course by course. Or I could create just one funnel that's about becoming a member, but actually show them course by course, product by product, what is in each one of those. So rather than actually selling everything at a time, it's trying to take out one particular course and highlight what that offers. So that's what I want to test now. So rather than build out an entire funnel before I do anything, all I've done is I've created a page called this Academy Spotlight, and the idea being that I'm just going to take them inside one particular product, show them an example video, and then give them the options to either buy it, buy the entire Academy Access all in one, over 3 payments, or monthly. So they can just pick an individual course, try it for a month, and then decide to cancel. So this is just a way of testing a little bit more as to whether this idea will work. If it does, then I can expand the idea, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. But as of today, what I've done is literally, because I like to do these things quickly, is put the page together, and I'm just going to send an broadcast email out to my list today, and see what happens. And then tomorrow I'm going to share the results of that with you, but also show you how I would integrate this into an automation, and how I'd build out this whole now follow-up funnel section. So then it becomes easy, it becomes automated, and so people automatically go from my front-end funnel into then this singular follow-up funnel. And then everything will be in place, and so we can then sort of play around with the marketing. Okay, I hope that makes sense, but if you've got any questions at all, obviously do let me know. And yeah, I look forward to catching up tomorrow, and fingers crossed I haven't made a huge loss for the day, that is. Oh yeah, one more thing. I do want to look at doing, I probably will do sort of later in this week or early next week, is put together an idea of a profit tracker to not only keep me on track, but also an easy way of seeing how we're doing, how we're progressing on this journey. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you have a great rest of the day and look forward to catching up with you in tomorrow's video. Bye for now.